start, I'd just like to thank Don for his kind words. I'm well aware of the fondness you have for Hazel, and it's going to be a privilege looking after her from here on out. It's great. I'll just second Don's thanks to everyone coming along, making today what it is. Obviously, we ran away on holiday to Vegas and decided to get married. So, you know, it was the perfect day. It's just what we wanted. It's, you know, personal, just the two of us. But it's the one downside was we didn't have family and friends there to celebrate. So, hence today. So, thank you all for coming. So I don't know how much you know about Hazel and I as a couple. We've been together now for 4.5 years. We met through work at SGS in Grangemouth, and it's the old cliche of the Christmas party. But I would just say it was very clean. We actually, I couldn't believe my luck. I couldn't believe my luck when the seat was free next to Hazel, so of course I jumped on it and sat there. Yeah, the seat. But no, from then on out we hit it off and got to know each other well, and then a few months later, eventually I had the courage to ask her out, and here we are today. I was actually, just out of interest, I looked into a wee bit of history, Scottish history between Clan Ross and Clan Anderson, and it turns out the literal meaning of Anderson means sons of Andrew, and looking at it, the Ross clan, the first first 5 earls of Clan Ross bore the name Ingria, which was again a literal reference to Andrew, sons of Andrew. So it appears in history we are bound to have a good relationship. So now, I'd just like to say a few words about my family. My mother especially, she's been the rock of the family, loving, caring, supportive, patient, being and I wouldn't be the man today if it wasn't for my mother. That's meant to be a compliment. And of course, I couldn't go without mentioning my siblings. So I'll go on to Dad first. My dad's always been there. He's been supportive in every way, whether it's offering to come and cut the grass, that's sweet, or more, you know, looking after the dogs. But no, he's teaching us to drive. I think everyone in the family has been taught by Father, and we've all got through unscathed. So. But no, Dad's been there. He's always been the best father you could wish for. He's always willing to help, and I'd just like to say personal thank you to him here. And then moving on to my siblings now, I have my golf mad brother, Gary, who
hasn't played for a year because he's got 4 children.
Thankfully, because he constantly blames the clubs, I got quite a few hand-me-downs of good quality drivers and irons. There's my sisters, who were always the first to tell me when I was being an idiot, and my hair was awful, etc.
Didn't have a chance today.
And while we're here, I wish you all the best. my sister Colleen and her husband Paul are moving across to Australia in September. So I wish you all the best on your move. And of course, my elder sister, I don't think you'd mind me saying that. So you've been great with all the holidays up north, out to Whistler. You've been, you made me feel part of the family. It was great fun. I have very fond memories. So moving on to the Ross, Clan Ross. Over the last 4.5 years, coming up north to Nairn has been a pleasure. I've loved every minute coming up, and to all the Ross family, you've been brilliant in bringing me in and making me feel part of the family. And I think a special thanks has to go to Hazel. You've been brilliant, and I feel very, very blessed to have a mother-in-law of your calibre.
Hear, hear. Yes.
As a token of my thanks, or our thanks, I should say. So I know Hazel has, like John mentioned, a great relationship with you. Yeah. So as a token of her thanks, take them away.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Going back to my mother for a second, we also have a token.
Oh, thank you.
I'll not run off, I promise.
So now, turn my attention to my darling wife. Obviously, we've been married now for, not just today, for a few months. But it's been, the last 4.5 years have been an absolute roller coaster. I'm pretty sure the happiest man in the room right now. I love my wife dearly, and I look forward to our many years to come. There's a few characteristics I thought I should point out.
Oh dear.
So Hazel's obviously the characteristics that there's quite a few, but I picked out a couple. Now her devotion to everyone, everything she does, her selflessness, her approach to family, friends, and even strangers. You do everything for everyone else and take very little credit or time for yourself. So I think that all goes with arranging today. Today wouldn't have happened. And not to mention the passion, the drive, and sheer awesomeness in how she approaches her not only her personal but also professional life. And it does help that you are slightly mental.
Yeah.
I'd like to ask everyone to raise their glasses and have a toast to Hazel.
Hazel.
So I guess finally it comes to it. It gives me no pleasure to introduce my two best men. Yes, two. I think I've landed myself in it here. I think between Gary and Rob, they've known me for about 20 years, so they've got plenty of ammunition to share. But to Gary, I'd like to say, remember the lovely speech, polite, clean, respectable speech I gave at your wedding. And to Rob, the just remember, you're still to come. So whether I'm involved personally or not, I'm sure I'll get my mentions.
Thanks very much, Max. You actually ruined the start of this. I was actually going to say not many people know, but recently I was lucky enough to have Max act as my best man. It was only a few months ago. His speech did start by saying that since he was, I was returning the favour shortly afterwards, he was going to watch what he said. But I just think that luckily I don't really have that problem now. Strap yourself in, Max. But I'm not going to be that cruel. We've known each other, as I said, from a very young age, so I'm lucky enough to have an abundance of PG-rated stories that I can read, but I can't speak for Rob, obviously. We actually split this up because it's quite handy that when we kind of cross paths that me and Max were friends from school and such, so I guess I'll use that as my excuse if this speech doesn't really go down that well. I can say it couldn't be that funny because we were kids at the time. But I figured the best way I can do this is tell some stories that can hopefully create some laughs, or cries, I guess. Just to highlight the things that you've done to me in our youth that you can hopefully bring to your marriage to keep Hazel happy. We met each other in Transitus, which for normal folk means primary 7. So we're going back about 20 years. I don't think that's really old enough for me to stand here and reminisce about the good old days and such, and how things have changed. But I do need to mention a really unhealthy addiction that we did have to playing GoldenEye on the N64. I know this sounds really, really sad, but it was a defining time of our youth because we spent endless hours playing this ridiculous game. So, I don't know, I already got lost. Sorry, folks. I imagine it's hard for the older generation to maybe relate to this story, or it just wasn't that funny. Unless you had a Pac-Man machine in your own living room and an endless supply of change. Organising these gaming sessions wasn't that easy because everyone at our school seemed to have a mission to live as far apart from each other as possible. So we actually have to have thanks to our family who would arrange these long drives to allow us to have these sort of sleepovers that would ultimately allow us to become lifelong friends. These long journeys do lead me to my first bit of advice, Max, is to just be attentive. Because as soon as Max had his licence, he was always happy to drive through and see me. He even made sure I wasn't left alone in school early in the mornings. Because for a while, my travel arrangements would come in and I was getting into school about 8 o'clock in the morning. And he would always come in and hang out with us. So I do think there was an ulterior motive there because he just wanted to remind us that he had no minors on his driving test. I would say as a side note, he actually had that pinned on his wall in his bedroom. Good achievement, Max. Good work. Or it was also just to show him up on the pool table, I guess. But the main thing is that actually meant a lot to me, so I just want to know that you need to make sure that Hazel knows that you'll always go above and beyond to spend time with her so she never feels alone. Actually, something just came to my head there, and it's not written down, so we're ad-libbing. Dangerous territory. I didn't just do that, I was always respectful of Max's piano skills. And I really wanted to learn this, and I was obsessed with the Snowman song. I'm not very musical, but I did give it a bash, and I made Max sit with me and try and teach me this. And you know, it was just the two of us in the room, and the Elspeth would then come in, probably horrified that our son, who's been invested in so much for all these lessons, is now playing this terrible tune on the piano, to then come in and say, "What was that racket?" or something to that effect. And he's replying, "It's okay, it's just Gary." And it's like, that's fine then. So I think that was the end of my music career. So I guess I could add to that then, be patient as well, because you were really patient with me, I like it. We did actually attempt to do some more outdoor and physical activities instead of just playing computer games. So we did decide to try the West Island Way. I know that not a lot of folk were at my wedding at least, to hear that he did some of it from that. But, you know, I'm not going to tell the part of the story you did. You know, I was just going to copy and paste that and your entire speech here. I thought I could have got away with that. But I'll just highlight something that you left out. To sum up, to go right to the end, when it was just a disaster. You know, we overpacked, underplanned, and ultimately we called it quits after just one night. Oh. So the next morning, with our tails between our legs, we started the journey home. A small part of me pretended it was because we both were struggling, but Max would have managed. Ever the loyal friend, he made me feel like the decision was both of ours. I know looking at the physique that I have, it might be hard to imagine, but I was quite small then, and I wasn't going to be able to keep going on. Max stepped up to the plate, and he actually hiked a fair bit of it with both of our Bergens. So one on the front, one on the back, while guess I was just skipping away behind him. Just so to give me a break that I really needed. So Max, make sure you're just as selfless in your marriage, and perhaps carry Hazel if she ever struggles. Or maybe just had a few too many. That was the first half applause I got. Alright. We also shared some early and potentially awkward romantic moments. Thankfully not with each other. On a couple of dates. Sister didn't seem to have the ability to give it an attempt, so ever the romantic, the decision was made to go to the movies. So after getting the lucky ladies their tickets and popcorn, of course, we settled down to see the perfect couples movie. Do you remember it, Max? It's Brotherhood of the Wolf. For which of those who don't know, which is the majority, I imagine, this is a French martial arts movie featuring a giant wolf. So I would say, Max, do remember to treat your wife and remain romantic, but maybe if it's the movies you go for, let the lady pick. I choose to say don't bring up hexes at speeches and stuff, but I think if you go back 15 years, it's not that bad. Okay. Thanks, I'm not going to keep going on this event. So I just want to sum up by saying, remember, Max, ensure you're always attentive, selfless, romantic, and got patience with Hazel, and I'm sure you'll have a relationship as strong as ours. Given all this, Max, I'm really surprised that we didn't end up together. Thankfully, this is where my speech ends, because we decided to call it quits on a timeline. So I'm not going to, bring up our adult life, got an abundance of stories there, but, and I use adult life the term loosely. Or I could carry on and bring up the time that I walked from Dundee to St Andrews, on your request, I'm fairly sure, in the middle of the night to spend some time with you. But that's another story. So I'd like to think that when we parted ways for different universities, purely because I wasn't smart enough to go to St Andrews, Max was a sweet, innocent boy, yet to discover vices such as alcohol and Rob.
Thanks, Gary. I really appreciate I now have the dubious honour of talking about Max from his comparatively well-behaved childhood to you today, even. So apologies for sullying all the lovely speeches we've had so far. I cannot take the blame or credit, depending on what your opinions of Max are, for his, shall we say, formative first year at uni. I knew Max solely as the guy in Newhall who changed his hairstyle more than he changed his baggy jeans and brown leather jacket. Leopard print and blue and ginger curtains, to name a few hairstyles. So Max was a well-loved and well-known member of the student body, mainly due to his infamous Who's Your Daddy t-shirt. And as I'm sure you're all aware, his first name being Cumming, his chat-up line, "Hi, I'm coming." To which my favourite response is, "Well, good for you, I'm going." Max and I went through your typical uni highs and lows together, and Max always just managed to distract me or any of his friends whenever he needed it. One of my most memorable moments of Max, when he inadvertently helped me, and I promise this is the last mention of ex-girlfriends, was when I'd split up with my ex, and I needed somebody to chat to and have a beer. So I called Max on my way home, and I said, "Get beers in the fridge, I need to unwind and I need to have a chat." Not long after, maybe an hour, I got home and found Max passed out on the couch, having earlier been to the chemistry club quiz, or at least that's what he said, and had the last warm beer in his hand unopened. So after managing to wake Max, he proceeded to just say 2 words to me as his groundbreaking counselling technique. Do you remember what those words were, Max? Would you like to tell them?
You're gay.
It was exactly what I needed, not because he was right, of course. What I wanted to do was laugh from there on and associate that day and event with Max's inspiring groundbreaking technique. Just to say, Max, make sure you're as attentive to Hazel and you can make her laugh when she needs to laugh. So, hearing Gary speak, I saw a very familiar trait in our friendships, and I'm pained to admit it's computer games. Or games singular, in that Max and I spent many a day wasting away playing FIFA. Now we were unbeatable, as I'm sure everybody is, and decided to put our money where our mouth was and turn this virtual talent into reality. So foolishly, in our last year, Max and I decided to set up a Sunday League team, called Skills and Kills, I'm sure you'll inspired name. As I'm sure you can tell, we were unable to emulate our tactical nous in reality. But regardless, we have many fond memories of our abject failure, such as that year our star defender being a local bus driver named Logie, who used rolled up newspapers for shin pads. Going on to Gary's point about Max being a romantic, Max was not a romantic at uni. He was more a pest. However, due to my loose tongue and Max's, from what I hear, Uncle Stephen, Hazel already knows this.
I'll let Stephen tell that if he'd like to.
But I'm sure Max has a romantic bone in his body. Oh, hang on. Las Vegas, vodka Red Bull and a taxi driver. Okay. However, that's Max and Hazel. Fun, living life to the full and impulsive. When Max met Hazel at the end of 2009, I could instantly tell this was different for Max because he prioritised Hazel over coming to play computer games, which hadn't happened in the 10 years I'd known him. And subsequently, everything moved quite fast and they were off to the bright lights of Aberdeen. Before Max moved up to Aberdeen with Hazel, a few of us from uni had one last hurrah at Murrayfield. Now, Max is a man of few words and simple tastes, food-wise, of course, Hazel. Memorably, one of our friends insisted on us having a drink that I'd had in South Africa called Stro, which is a cooking strength rum. And following that, Max only said 2 words for the rest of the night. Again, Max, would you like to enlighten us? Are you sure you can't?
I'll give you the honour.
Oh, I do appreciate that, Max, thank you. So, pourquoi pas, and nothing else came out of his mouth. Now, I'm not a patient man, but we humoured Max and got him back onto the train. And having been convinced that Linlithgow was the nearest stop to his flat in Falkirk, I still managed to get him back on the train. Success, we got him back to Hazel and Falkirk unharmed. Last time I was this wrong was when we took the sweepstake on Max's sexuality in the first year. Max wanted food. What else but garlic bread? Max, duly in his well-rehearsed stupor, put the garlic bread into the oven and proceeded to watch the garlic bread cook. So intently did Max watch the garlic bread cook, he burnt his forehead on the oven. And to keep Gary's words, be particularly attentive to your wife and not garlic bread. So moving on to the obligatory traditional stuff, Max has done amazingly well for himself since he left uni and has worked extremely hard to get to where he is today, and I have no doubt he will continue to make everyone proud with the support of Hazel, and I expect you to support Hazel as she'll support you, Max. A true friend to me is someone you can sit in silence without feeling awkward. Somebody who you may not see for a couple of months and have a beer and still have a great laugh. Someone with whom you have a mutual understanding and someone you feel your life would be poorer for not knowing. Max is this to me and many others. I'd now like to thank and toast the bridesmaids and brides dudes for their fantastic efforts today. So if you'd like to raise your glasses to the bridesmaids and brides dudes.
Bridesmaids and brides dudes.
And finally, Max, you're a great friend and a lucky man today. You look, and Hazel, you look fantastic, and you're a fantastic woman, and I have no doubt the two of you will be extremely happy together. And I would like to wish you everlasting happiness and a wonderful, prosperous future together. I'd like now to propose a toast to the bride and groom. Everybody would raise their glasses. To the bride and groom.
Bride and groom.